Wrestling fans of the internet, Linwood Wrestling Legends is back out at Cryogenic storage. We are back on the attack and coming at you like a spatula. We are coming live and direct from an abandoned warehouse in Linwood. And if you love wrestling as much as we do, then you just gotta hop on that main line. As always, I am your faithful host and color commentator, John. It's been 8 months in cold storage, and I for one am itching to get back to some wrestling. So let's go see some right now. Alright folks, before we get into it, our general manager Todd Sorenson wants to give us a bit of a State of the Union address, so you'll better listen up. I guarantee he's going to say something about merch sales and bums on seats. That train's never late. And we are right on schedule. Choo choo. And ain't it a glorious thing? There is a lot we don't know, and for all we know, we may never know. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know and you don't show and you be a menace to Linwood while drinking your juices wrong movie. I wouldn't have put it quite like that, but Todd Sorenson, stay greedy. Yeah, what's happening with that, Todd? And another good man goes down on a technicality. Buenas noches, Senor Mendoza. Tough break. We might be too moral to take Saudi Arabian blood money, but we are not above taking money from dubious Colombian barons. And there it is again. Todd Sorenson, shine on, you greedy-ass diamond. And I don't know about any of you folks, but I came here tonight to see some wrestling. So let's go see some wrestling. Right now. Folks, we got a brand spanking new tag team debuting tonight. Coming from Norway, Arne and Ove are the proteges of our former champion, Ymir the Frost Giant. Collectively, they are known as Bloodthorn, and tonight they will be making their debut against the Cockney Pickpockets. And oh, here's a special treat. With his knee injury finally recovered, our good friend Jonesy is finally back in the ring. And I can't wait to see what kind of botches, bungles, and blunders he's got for us tonight. Let's go check it out. The following tag match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Bergen, Norway, Arne and Ove are Bloodthorn. Now I don't want to go body shaming anyone, but these two might just be the most pale, emaciated and unhealthy looking wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. I get that they're Norwegian and they're also in a black metal band, so they're probably supposed to look like that. But my god, I only hope these two stop by the cafeteria for a sandwich and the veterinarian's office for a shot of vitamin D afterwards. And for those of you wondering, no, our staff veterinarian Francesca has not got her credentials back. Time heals a lot of things, but using chewed bubblegum to plug a wrestler's head wound, well, that tends to stick around. And Francesca, you still owe me a replacement pack of Hubba Bubba. And their opponents. From London, England, Gazza, Jonesy and Big Wally are the Cockney Pickpockets. You know folks, there are a lot of things about this promotion I missed when we were in cryogenic storage. But these three crumb bums, not among them. Rather mercifully, Jonesy will not be wrestling for the foreseeable future. He's still suffering from that injury he got last year when he injured his knee in a hilarious botched knee dive. Oh, that was a good day. If you haven't seen the clip, do yourself a favor because it's comedy gold. In Jonesy's absence, Gazza and Big Wally will be handling the actual wrestling tonight. I've always said that with a lot of training and the right management, those two could someday become marginally competent jobbers. So let's see what they've got for us tonight. But if you've ever seen the Pickpockets in action, you'll know we're dealing with some of the dirtiest players in the game. The ref is going to have to keep their head on a swivel to look out for the brass knuckles and low blows. And if a knuckle sandwich isn't your cup of tea, why not stop by our concession stand? We guarantee no dirty band-aids on the Cajun wedges. Your mileage may vary with the fries, though. Referee Henrietta Sorenson rings the bell, and Gazza is wasting no time charging in and laying down the law on Olve's face. The Pickpockets are not taking the Scandinavian threat lying down. We got the lockup, Gazza clocks Olve in the gut with the knee, and what do we have here? We got the headlock, and to a stalling suplex. See, what did I say? Oh, for God's sakes. For whatever strange reason, the Pickpockets have adopted the phrase, "Your mother can kiss me bum" as a catchphrase and a rallying cry. And we got a butterfly suplex from Gazza. I'll admit it's not the worst catchphrase I've ever heard, and it certainly makes a hell of a lot more sense than yeet. And we got the tag to on. Let's see what these guys have got for us. We got Gazza draped across the ropes, and boom goes the falling axe handle. Let's take another look at that. This is some good teamwork we're seeing from the Scandinavians. It's not Motor City Machine Guns level, but it'll do. And yes, I know what you're thinking, but John, are you going to bring up the Motor City Machine Guns in every tag match? Yes I am. Everything is about the Motor City Machine Guns all the time, even when it's not. Sometimes especially when it's not. Like now. There goes the tag to Big Wally, and the tone of this match just shifted. Big Wally comes roaring in, and he is set on squashing these two like the pale, emaciated Scandinavian bugs they are. Oh, for God's sakes. Look, do you guys even want other people to see this? We got enough trouble getting broadcast without that kind of crap as it is. After the show, we can have a little sit down and talk about whose mother's kissing whose bum, but until then, let's keep it family friendly, shall we? Big Wally gets him up in the powerbomb, and where is he going? Snake Eyes! And down on goes. Big Wally is kicking away as hard as his $3 pair of track pants will let him. Things just got real for the boys in Bloodthorn. They had no idea what they were walking into. If Arn can't make the tag to Olve, these two are officially screwed, and he's done it. Arn rolls out for some much needed rest, and now it's Olve's turn to go through the good gravy. Will you look at that? There is no denying the power of Big Wally. Run it back, Ernie. There is no faking gravity either, and Olve just got a crash course. Big Wally is not letting up for a second, and he is raining down the cheap shots. But those shots are nowhere near as cheap as the prices at our merch stand. God damn it, Todd, that's a lie. My mother watches this show, and you just made me lie to my mother. I hope you're happy, Todd. Olve is laying in the chops, and the big man is feeling it. Despite their deathly pale pallor, there is still some life left in Bloodthorn. This Linwood crowd are getting right behind these Viking berserkers, and it's starting to feel like 793 all over again. The big man has had enough, and he lays Olve out with a stiff shot to the face. Olve gets whipped into the corner, and we're about to see some teamwork from the Pickpockets. Sweet, merciful crap. Let's take another look at that. Oh, for God's sakes. Nothing fancy here, folks. Just a straight up 2 versus 1 whip right into the buckle. I'm no physics professor, but I would... Oh, for God's sakes, do we need to see that again? Look what I have to work with, folks. trying to put on a nice family-friendly wrestling show, and these clowns are ruining it in the first match. Look at that powerbomb. Is it going to be enough for the pin? 1. Kick out after the 1. After a shaky start, the boys in Bloodthorn are picking up the pace. Into the ropes, Gaza goes, and... Good God, look at that. A tombstone facebuster. Now I've seen everything, and what the hell is Arn doing? Jonesy wastes no time whipping him back in the ring to Gaza. Once again, nothing fancy, but there are no points for style, and now Big Wally wants a turn. This is spilling out of the ring. Say what you will about the Pickpockets, and believe me, I have, but their teamwork is uncanny. These three grew up in the same council estate, flunked out of the same school, and spent time at the same juvenile facility, so they are thick as thieves. Rather mercifully, we are back in the ring. And what is going on here? Boom! Arn hits him with a brainbuster. Jonesy attempts to slip a pull cue in the ring, but referee Henrietta Sorenson is not having any of his crap today. The Pickpockets are really starting to feel it now, and we got a moonsault and a knees up. Once again, boys, there are no points for style. And there is absolutely nothing stylish or classy about the beatdown Arn is getting from Gaza. And speaking of which, it's time for Gaza to lay down some Queensberry rules. Let's go check that one out again. Gaza picked up a little boxing at the Juvenile Detention Center as a youngin', and those skills are on display tonight. What did I tell you, folks? We're seeing some marginally competent wrestling from Gaza and Big Wally tonight. After the old 1-2 buckle my shoe, Gaza pulls him to his feet, and Arn goes full force into the ring post. Gaza's got an itchy elbow, and he is looking to scratch it. Once again, Arn has been pulled outside of the ring and beaten down by the other Pickpockets. Teamwork in action. Gaza is just biding his time, waiting for his prey to come to him. But is there any coming back at all after that brutal beatdown? Big Wally gets in some much needed... Oh, for God's sakes, guys. I am dealing with a class of unruly children. I guarantee other color commentators don't have to put up with this crap week to week. And down goes Gaza into the corner. Best place for him, really, after that appalling display. It's only the first match back and my blood pressure is already through the roof. Why the hell did I come back to this job? Back into the corner, Gaza goes, and we're going to see some teamwork. Up on the ropes goes Ove, and down goes a falling axe handle straight onto Gaza's arm. Hopefully he'll think twice about making any more obscene hand gestures. But he's still got enough in the tank to make the tag to Big Wally, and the big man gets laid out with a step-up enziguri. Big Wally is no doubt regretting the cider and Turkish delight he had for breakfast, and into the corner he goes, but the tag is denied. Back into the corner he goes, and this time the Scandinavians make the tag. Let's see what they got. If it's good enough for Gaza, it's good enough for Big Wally, and down he goes. And look at that moonsault. Nothing but Matt. And by Matt, I mean Canvas, and not a dude named Matt. I don't believe we have any Matts working for us at LWL, but I'll have to double check. Oh, look at that knee to the face. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if we had a Matt on payroll. All of the minions our general manager Todd Sorenson surrounds himself with tend to blur together after a while. And Big Wally hits the ring post. Down he goes. The tide has turned against the Cockney Pickpockets. Bloodthorn are determined to pull off this victory. There's not a lot of tread left on those tires, and Big Wally is feeling the wear and tear. Can he get the pin? 1. Kick out after the 1. Big Wally attempts to counter and is himself countered. Is that a double negative? I'll let you be the judge. We're going to see a bit more teamwork, and I've got a feeling what's good for Gaza is good for Big Wally. And hopefully that there will be the end of the obscene hand gestures from the Cockney Pickpockets. Gaza comes barreling in, looking to turn the tide of this match and taking out his frustrations on Ove. They are going to need a miracle, and this might just be it, folks. We are going to see it. That was the Shaftesbury screwdriver. Let's take another look. Gazza claims to have invented this one during his 2 weeks in the Navy. He was trying to learn how to do a pile driver, but he was too wasted on torpedo fuel to pull it off. But it's going to take more than 2 weeks at His Majesty's Navy and a dishonorable discharge to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. I'm amazed any of these wrestlers have anything left in the tank at this point. We can't be too far from the home stretch. Oh, good brother, look at that. That one came from out of nowhere, and we gotta take another look. What we got from Olve here was a combination of backbreaker and an STO. It's a little derivative of the Kalishnikov special, but I'll allow it, for I am a merciful color commentator. I'd be shocked if Gazza knows which way is up at this point, but to be honest, concussions are a problem for our staff veterinarian. Olve attempts to stick in the submission, but we got a rope break. We are seeing a little tussling and bustling going on here. Gazza goes into the ropes, and I thought those sloppy collisions were a thing of last year, and Gazza lays him out with a clothesline. Seriously, 2K, fix your damn game. I paid $240 for this. Into the corner Gazza goes. I think we might be about to see it, folks. Oh, yes, we are. It's 793 all over again, and boom goes the Lindisfarne pile driver. Let's take another look. For those of you who missed the first season of Vikings, 793 was the date of the Viking raid on the Lindisfarne Monastery. But is this going to be enough for the win? 1, 2, 3. Bloodthorn, take the win. Let's go see some of the highlights Ernie the cameraman has prepared for us. Arn and Olve might have got off to a slow start, but they sure as hell picked up the pace in the second half. And while we're on the subject of the TV show Vikings, I would like to declare my undying love for Catherine Winnick, who played Lagertha. I'm not ashamed to admit that I cried a little when Lagertha got killed, and I don't care if you think that makes me less of a man. But if these two are the vanguard of the new Great Heathen Army, I for one welcome our new Scandinavian overlords. Congratulations to Olve and Arn on a brilliant debut! To paraphrase noted philosopher Bruce Dickinson, the Saxons have been overpowered by the mighty Norsemen. While Ymir the Frost Giant is also confirmed, there is a fourth yet-to-be-revealed member of the Great Heathen Army, and I for one can't wait to see who that's gonna be. Welcome, Bloodthorn. Wrestling fans of the internet, although I do apologize for what you are about to see, there will be no refunds. With the breakup of his former tag team, the After Dark Express, the Violator has decided to go it alone in a singles run, and tonight he makes his debut against the odious and odoriferous Linwood Knight. And on the subject of odoriferousness, both of these wrestlers are due for their annual bath any day now. But that's another problem for another day. Let's go check it out. The following match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Linwood, Christchurch, right here in Aotearoa, he is the hard-boozing, hardcore legend. He is the sexiest man in the room, and he is the cockroach of professional wrestling, Linwood Knight. If Andre the Giant was the Mount Everest of inebriation, Linwood Knight must surely be the Mount Kilimanjaro, or at the very least the Mount Cook or Mount Taranaki if we're sticking with New Zealand geography. And as I mentioned before, both Linwood Knight and the Violator are due for their annual bath any day now. At least in Linwood Knight's case, it's easy enough to lure him somewhere with some cans of bourbon and coke. And from there we just throw a large net on him, then take him out the back and blast him with the hose. With the Violator, that's where things get a little tricky. Last year we actually had to rent an ice cream truck to lure him into the parking lot. Once we flushed him out, we had a couple of guys from a power washing company kind of ensnare him in a pincer movement. I swear to God, they were blasting him for a good 10 minutes and the water was running brown. It was not a pretty sight and it was unpleasant for all concerned. And it just reminds me of all those people out there saying, hey, wrestling's fake, they're just following a script. Man, I wish we had the kind of wrestlers that would actually follow a script. Just look at the lengths we have to go to get some of them to take a bath once a year. My dog Jasco absolutely hates bath time, but even he's not this much trouble. But having the kind of wrestlers that would actually follow a script, man, that would make my job so much easier. We could finally keep the vulgarity and obscene hand gestures to an appropriate minimum, and maybe we could actually make the show family friendly. Maybe someday I could even do my commentary at the announcer's desk, instead of having to hide under it. But unfortunately, our general manager Todd Sorenson seems to think that all this chaos puts bums on seats and sells merch. And I've got a real bad feeling that this match is going to be as chaotic as they come. As for me, I'm safe and sound under this announcer's desk. I got a comfy cushion, a mini fridge full of off-brand soda and a big bag of Sour Patch Kids, so I am good to go. Most importantly, my laptop is hooked up to Ernie's camera, so I'm not missing a second of the action. And will you look at this, the Violator is not even waiting to do a proper entrance. He's running to the ring as if it were an ice cream truck, and this beatdown is just getting started. Referee Tom Herb is struggling to re-establish order. But now they're separated and this match can begin in earnest. Referee Tom Herb rings the bell. And you guys can start. Oh, here we go. Linwood Knight is clobbering away. Although this is the Violator's first singles match, Linwood Knight is not going to ease him into it. He is working the Violator over like a big hairy punching bag. And I got a bad feeling we're going to see some... Oh, look at that. We got a counter from the Violator. The big guy is finally asserting himself. And look at that beautiful fall-away Samoan drop. And hey, why not raise the roof while you're in the mood? A lot of our wrestlers actually lost weight in cryogenic storage, but I think the Violator found it. I could swear he wasn't that portly or that hairy when we put him in, but I could be wrong. Linwood Knight gets whipped into the corner. Here comes the Violator, and that was a sneaky evasion courtesy of Linwood Knight. Linwood Knight trying to get a grip, but that is a lot of Violator to grip. The hard booze and hardcore legend is going to have to put in a bit more effort if he wants to take home this victory tonight. The Violator is looking a little unsteady. Maybe he's even thinking that this singles run was a horrible idea. To put it charitably, the Violator is a wrestler that needs a lot of supervision. Oh my God, look at that beautiful pop-up Samoan drop. Maybe there's still hope for the big guy after all. Linwood Knight is in a very punchy mood tonight, so if the Violator can withstand the barrage, there may still be hope. And I think we're about to see something really cool. Oh, he's going for it. Boom! Oh, counted at the last second. Linwood Knight is a master of sneaky reversals, and nobody plays possum quite like Linwood Knight. We got a swing and miss and a counter. The Violator has finally figured out that his friend Homeboy Love Shark isn't there to tag in. He's going to have to take this victory all by his little wee selfington. But Linwood Knight is not giving him any room to breathe, and he is not looking like a happy Violator. If this match goes on too long, there is a real danger that Linwood Knight will sober up, and nobody wants that to happen. And it's safe to say the Violator does not want this to happen. Referee Tom Herb breaks them up and we are good to go. Or at least Linwood Knight is. The Violator is not looking so hot. He's daring the Violator to get back to his feet. Boom! Clop with a vicious kick straight off the slingshot. Violator catapults him off and the proverbial seesaw goes back and forth. Linwood Knight goes back into the corner, and this time around the hip attack is successful. The Violator gets to work cranking that neck. One only hopes Linwood Knight is too inebriated to feel any pain, and he is punching out. He is trying to lift the Violator, but the Violator is making it impossible and he is elbowing his way out. Oh, good gravy, will you look at that? Say what you will about the Violator, but there is no denying his raw power. Run it back, Ernie. If the Violator can play to his strengths like this and stay in his lane, there might be a shot that he could take the victory after all, but we shall see. That's a whole lot of gravity right there. Good gravy, that one came out of nowhere. Nobody plays possum like Linwood Knight, and absolutely nobody is saying Linwood Knight, yeah! Well, okay, maybe a small handful of inebriated people in the back. Linwood Knight gets the Russian sweep, and let's see what comes next. Linwood Knight is just getting warmed up, and he says, bring it on. And the Violator responds with a stiff clothesline, but can he get the pin? One. Ooh, kick out after the one. He's going to have to do better than that, but will the second time be the oh, for God's sakes. Trying to cheat by putting his feet on the ropes for leverage. The Violator is not ashamed to stoop to Linwood Knight's level. We got a bit of a stall, and now a bit of a squat to show it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. And there goes a suplex. There is no denying the brute strength of the Violator. And nothing but brute strength here as the Violator squeezes Linwood Knight's melon for all it's worth. I think we're going to see it, folks. Here it comes. Ooh. Boom! Violator claw slam. Let's see that again, Ernie. The Violator is finally starting to capitalize on that brute strength. And he is putting Linwood Knight straight through the meat grinder. If he squeezes any harder, we're going to see bourbon and coke dribbling out his ears. And hey, why not a happy dance now that you've turned the tide of the match? The hard boozing hardcore legend is starting to look a little worse for wear. He is definitely feeling it. Good gravy, whipped straight into referee Tom Herb. I'd say Tommy Boy deserves some hazard pay, but I still haven't forgiven him for the Linwood screwjob last year. You know what you did, Tommy Boy. Round and round and round he goes, and straight across the canvas. I take back most of the horrible things I said about the Violator and his singles run. He might actually pull this off. Crazier things have happened. And speaking of crazy, here's something really crazy. I was just reading the other day that some archaeologists have discovered an ancient race of skeleton people. This is from like 200 years ago, before people had organs and skin. Man, that's crazy, isn't it? I'm just glad we don't have any more of those skeleton people walking around today, because they would give me the willies. And speaking of willies, we should all be grateful that Linwood Knight is wearing his undies today. It was a bit of a close call last time. Linwood Knight has taken back the lead in this match, and he is on the attack. My God, he finally did it. That was a whole lot of Violator to scoop slam, but he pulled it off. I got a feeling whatever comes next is not going to be to the Violator's benefit. And boom, there it goes. Diving headbutt. Let's see it again. Quite frankly, I think this move should have been banned after, everything with Chris Benoit. But hell, Linwood Knight's already got enough brain damage. Might actually do him some good. At least that's what I tell myself week after week. Will this be enough for the pin? Let's find out. One. Oh. It's gonna take a few more of those to take down 300 plus kilos of Violator. I'm not gonna tell you how much that is in pounds, because you should bloody well use the metric system. Like the rest of the civilized world does. After all, there are only two countries that don't use the metric system. One is a backwards hellhole full of heavily armed religious zealots, and the other one is Ghana. And in case you forgot, Linwood Knight is here to remind you that he is the sexiest man in the room. Into the corner, the Violator goes. He clobbered him good with that one, and there's plenty more where that came from. And down goes the Violator. That's not enough to make me say Linwood Knight, yeah, but I could see how it would fool some of the more impressionable of you. Oh, I think we're about to see it, folks. Here it comes. Boom! That was the Bro Buster. One of Linwood Knight's signatures. Oh, for God's sakes. We just went through this with the Cockney Pickpockets. I swear to God, if you wrestlers don't behave, I am going to turn this wrestling show right around and nobody is getting ice cream. This is what our general manager Todd Sorenson thinks good, clean family entertainment looks like. Marinate on that for a second. See, look what you made me do, Linwood Knight. I should have been describing the bro buster, but instead I had to apologize for your vulgarity. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Violator is not having any of Linwood Knight's rude hand gestures. It's about time somebody did that, and it might as well be the Violator. Although he probably belongs in jail, the middle of the ring's as good a place as any for Linwood Knight. Down he goes, and the Violator's... Can he get the pin? Apparently not. Linwood Knight flips the script. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, that is sneaky. Nobody plays possum like Linwood Knight, and he takes the match. Let's go see some replays. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, the Violator doing a singles run is a terrible, terrible idea. If he doesn't want to go back to the tag division, at the very least he needs to get himself a manager to do all the important things and give him some much needed supervision. I have no idea where we would find such a person to do that, but quite frankly that's his problem, not mine. Every promotion needs jobbers, and maybe that's just as high as he can aim for now. So there you have it, folks. Another questionable victory for Linwood Knight, and an utter train wreck for the Violator's debut as a singles run. See, this is what I'm always telling you, folks. Besides a few exceptions, our men's division is, as the kids say, absolute dog water. As if my day couldn't get any worse, here's wrestling legend Yo-Yo Brown. Can't wait to see how he's going to upset the apple cart this week. If you own or operate any kind of apple cart, this guy is your worst nightmare. I'm wondering, could we not have just left him there? Apparently he's no stranger to cryogenic storage. What the hell is this Sassafras match? Oh wait, I think he means an I Quit match. As my dear old nana used to say, it's about whooping the other fella until he cries Sassafras. And the crazy train is right on time. Chugga chugga. Well, that's gotta be it, folks. We've cracked the mystery. Didn't even cost us $3.50. You're never gonna get that title shot, Yo-Yo. Just accept it and move on. The entire world has moved on many times since your glory days. And here's our general manager, Todd Sorenson, hopefully to talk some sense into him, and possibly get him the help he so desperately needs. Thank you, Todd. That's what I've been saying all along. Whoa, bad idea, Todd. Terrible idea. Once again, my boss is blindsided by his soft spot for this leathery fossil. Serious, Todd? You've done the proletariat hero dirty so many times, and now you're making him do this? Well, there you have it, folks. Apparently we now have a Sassafras match, and this is going to be a goddamn train wreck. But at least we've got a good match next to take away the bitter taste. Let's go see it now. Finally, after the absolute dreck we just saw from the men's division, we are gonna see some good wrestling. This time around, we got something old, something new, and a new lineup of the Amazons. When her best friend and former tag partner Tessa Hatcher decided to go into the Alaskan wilderness to live with grizzly bears, Athena decided to recruit her cousin Persephone Kalishnikov as her new tag partner. Persephone was also trained by their mutual uncle Spiros Kanakarides, who's a wrestling legend you've never heard of. If she's even half as good as her cousin, she is a welcome addition to our roster. All in all, this promises to be a really good match, so let's go check it out. The following tag match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Thessalonica, Greece, Athena Kanakaridis and Persephone Kalishnikov are the Amazons. I don't know about any of you, but I am super excited to see our newcomer Persephone Kalishnikov in action. If she's got Athena's seal of approval, that's good enough for me. And by the way, I am absolutely loving those new entrance costumes. Whoever put those together is an absolute Linwood legend, if I do say so myself. And their opponents. From Medellin, Colombia, Mercedes Cortez and Veronica Mendoza are Las Sicarias. This Linwood crowd has never liked Las Sicarias, and it's not hard to see why. Mercedes Cortez is absolutely terrifying, and what can we say about Veronica Mendoza? She thinks she can just bat her eyelids and make anybody do what she wants, and that might work on our general manager Todd Sorenson. It might work on Jonesy from the Cockney Pickpockets, but John the commentator don't want to play. And while I'm loath to shame anyone, I take a very dim view of anybody who would willingly get a Cockney Pickpockets tramp stamp like these two have. Back when I used to drink, I really tied one on one night and I woke up with the Linwood Knight tramp stamp. I'm pretty sure he was the one that did it too, because both the words Linwood and Knight were misspelled. Thank God for laser removals, that's all I'll say. Referee Chad Remington rings the bell and we are off to a slap-happy start. Veronica Mendoza wants to send a message to our newcomer. She is not welcome. She is not letting up on Persephone for a second, and I really hope Persephone can recover and show us what she's got. After all, you only get one chance to make a first impression, so you better knock it out of the park. And strut all you want, Veronica, but the people of Linwood will never like you. Persephone whips her into the ropes, and I thought we were done with those sloppy collisions last year, but apparently not. Persephone sticks the side headlock takeover, and can she make her tap? We are seeing those Olympic wrestling skills come out to play. Veronica manages to push her off, and we are back to our feet. The crowd really didn't like what just happened. We got another whip into the ropes. Persephone goes low, and another sloppy collision. If you wrestlers can't get it together, you're gonna have to run the ropes after the show, and she is whipped into the corner. We are about to see some teamwork. And good gravy, that was some sweet teamwork. Let's get another look. We got the whip into the ropes, Persephone goes low, and then Veronica walks right into a massive dropkick, courtesy of Athena Kanakaridis. Athena is not having any of Veronica's nonsense, and she is laying down the law. And come on ladies, pick up the pace. Let's see what you got. And we got a whip into the corner, and the tag is denied. We got another whip into the ropes, a reversal, and a miss with the catch. I'm starting to wonder if I've oversold the skills of this division. Boom! Veronica gets smashed right into the turnbuckle, but the tag is still denied. And here comes a little ballet and a stiff clothesline. I got a feeling that we got some more teamwork on the way from the Amazons. So let's see what they got for us this time. And the tag is denied. The teamwork will have to wait while these two tussle it out, and Athena gets whipped into the opposite corner. And now we're going to see some tag work from Las Sicarias. Oh, that's just brutal. Mercedes Cortez is a straight up scrapper. So let's see how Athena handles her aggression. Oh, that looked painful. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. It's bad enough we get this from the men's division. If I see one more obscene hand gesture from anyone, well, you can just take this job and restaff it. And we got the G grip from Mercedes. And from what I understand, the G either stands for Gorilla or Good Gravy. I'm thinking Good Gravy. Whatever comes next is not going to be pretty, mark my words. And there is nothing pretty about what Mercedes is doing, but Athena is punching her way out. She is stunned against the ropes, and we got the bouncy with an elbow strike at the end. And we got 3 of them. There's another for good measure. She gets whipped into the corner, and we are going to see some sweet teamwork. We got the snapmare from Athena, Persephone running the ropes. And good gravy, look at that. We got to see that again. This right here is the kind of teamwork you usually only see from Los Gatos Calajeras, or my beloved Motor City Machine Guns. As far as I'm concerned, you can never have enough of it. We are starting to see the Amazons coming back and reasserting themselves. Mercedes elbows her way out and absolutely whiffs the spear. That is embarrassing. Mercedes is one of the few in the women's division that can actually do a good spear, so that is just painful. Beautiful half Nelson suplex, and that rocks harder than Queen at Wembley. Well, maybe not that hard, but at least as hard as Metallica's Day on the Green. Can Persephone get the pin? 1, 2, ooh, nearly a 2 count. Anyway you cut it, the Amazons are back in the game and they mean business. Picture perfect arm drag in a small deadly space. Usually that move needs a lot of room, but not if you're Persephone Kalishnikov, and here comes some more teamwork. We got the double whip into the ropes, and Mercedes goes up and over like a 4-leaf clover. Mercedes is absolutely rocked. The laws of physics justified themselves for a second there, and we think Yo-Yo Brown had something to do with it. But can Athena make Mercedes tap? Mercedes slips her grip and escapes to safety, and there's a tag to Veronica. Veronica comes running in, and look at that Hurricane Rana, and a few punches to seal the deal. Las Sicarias might be getting a second win, but not right now, because she just whiffed that senton. And for the record, I have never heard another human being use the word chica as much as Veronica does. Sometimes she calls me a pendejo, which I'm going to assume is a term of endearment. Oh, come on, that was absolutely uncalled for. But fear not, because Athena is going to make her pay. Veronica is in a precarious spot, and now she's back in the ring. Veronica is done with being the pinata, and now it's somebody else's turn. Veronica fires back with a sit-out gourd buster. She is going topside and taken to the sky, but what is she planning? And her best laid plans are thwarted by Persephone Kalishnikov. Veronica kicks her way out and walks into a leg lariat by Persephone. And what is going on here? Good gravy, look at that! Run it back, Ernie. Persephone Kalishnikov is just showing off with this marching suplex, and I am loving every second of it. Lovely little kip up from Veronica. Wheelbarrow gets countered with a stiff kick to the gut. Things are starting to look a little blurry for Veronica Mendoza. Back into home base she goes, and we got the tag and some more teamwork. Whatever comes next is gonna be very cool. Sweet merciful crap! Yo Ernie, run it back! The Amazons called this one the Flight of Icarus, and we can see Veronica flying a little too close to the sun here. This is some amazing stuff, but can she get the pin? Oh, broken up by Mercedes. Veronica is looking completely washed out, and if she can't make the tag to Mercedes, Las Sicarias are screwed. And speaking of which, I think we're about to see it. Boom! The Archimedes screw. Let's see that again. If you voluntarily get a Cockney Pickpockets tattoo, this is exactly what should happen to you. Somebody should hit you with the Archimedes screw. But will this one be enough to seal the victory? 1, 2, 3. Amazons take the win. Let's go see some highlights. Lineup changes can be a tricky thing. If a band goes through a major lineup change and doesn't immediately knock it out of the park with their next release, they can struggle for a long time. Case in point, Sepultura. But with this new lineup of the Amazons, they went straight into the studio and knocked out Back in Black. Just as that record legitimized Brian Johnson as the front man, this match absolutely vindicates the choice of Persephone Kalishnikov as the new Amazon. That was one hell of a debut, and I can't wait to see more. So congratulations to the new lineup of the Amazons, and welcome Persephone Kalishnikov. More matches like that, and our current champs Las Gardas Calajeras are going to have some stiff competition on their hands, or paws. And I don't know about any of you, but that match was exactly what I needed to get out of the funk and back into the groove after those two disappointing first matches. Folks, I just want to go on record as saying this match is a terrible, terrible idea. Unfortunately, my boss, General Manager Todd Sorenson, has a bit of a soft spot for Yo-Yo Brown. Todd's dad used to watch Yo-Yo Brown wrestling when he was a kid. And because of that, Todd feels the need to indulge Yo-Yo Brown's ridiculous ideas. But it will be a very cold day in hell before I refer to this as a Sassafras match. This is an I Quit match and Yo-Yo Brown needs to get with the times. But besides me, the real victim is the proletariat hero Yuri Kalishnikov for being thrown in this absolute travesty of a match. Let's just get this damn thing over with and hopefully we'll never have to talk about it again. The following is a Sassafras match, which will continue until one wrestler cries Sassafras. Introducing first, from Pokrovskoye, Siberia in Russia, he is the proletariat hero, Yuri Kalishnikov. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The proletariat hero deserves a hell of a lot better than this. He's one of the absolute best wrestlers we've got at this promotion, but LWL insists on doing him dirty at every turn. Last year, he was forced to wrestle a literal clown. After that, he became the target for a cult of brainwashed wrestlers. But did this promotion have his back? Absolutely not. As much as I love seeing Yuri Kalishnikov wrestle, my boss, Todd Sorenson, has really hung him out to dry here. And just a reminder, folks, that because this is our first Sassafras match, there may be a few more weird pop-ups and technical glitches than usual. As always, blame our cameraman Ernie. It's his first day. We really should have a Sasquatch match sometime. That'd be rad. And his opponent, from Detroit, Michigan in the United States, he is the Detroit original, Yo-Yo Brown. I am so unbelievably sick of this man. This Sassafras match isn't even the craziest idea he's pitched. Apparently, he wants to do a weekly segment called What They Don't Want You to Know. Every week would see Yo-Yo diving right down the rabbit hole of another crazy conspiracy. Let me just pull up his Instagram a second and I'll tell you the latest one, because it's a doozy. According to Yo-Yo Brown, the first head of state to be assassinated by a firearm was actually Julius Caesar. William Shakespeare left that out of his play because of how gun laws are in the UK, but apparently most of the Senate were packing Uzis. Brutus came along right at the end with a pump-action shotgun and straight up laid him out. I'm having a lot of trouble finding sources for these claims, but Yo-Yo absolutely believes them, and he thinks this is stuff that they don't want you to know. Yo-Yo Brown rushing in to take the initiative, all before referee Zeka Jahir and Mayabesh Jones can ring the bell. Kalishnikov going for the armbar, but can he stick it? Can he make Yo-Yo Brown cry Sassafras? No. Better luck next time, Kalishnikov. Proletariat hero lays him out with a dropkick. And is there even a Russian word for Sassafras? Yo-Yo Brown going for the Thiz press with a few punches for good measure. Couple of stiff shots to the gut and down goes Kalishnikov. The Detroit original never misses a chance to strut his stuff, and he is absolutely peacocking tonight. We might even see some half-decent wrestling from him. Miracles have been known to happen after all. Yo-Yo Brown came here to show that age is just a number, even if it is a really big number. Yo-Yo gets laid out by the flying shoulder tackle, but can Kalishnikov stick the armbar this time around? We are seeing his combat sambo skills on full display. But it's going to take more than that to make the old man cry Sassafras. And I have said the word Sassafras so many times that it's beginning to lose any and all meaning. Oh, look at that artful dodge by Yo-Yo Brown, followed by a body block. Now he's getting to work, cranking the neck. Even I have to admit that I'm pleasantly surprised. I thought this was going to be a real sugar show. We might actually get a good match out of this. And Yo-Yo Brown going for the camel clutch, but it's not enough to make the proletariat hero say Sassafras. And while I may not care for Yo-Yo Brown's dance moves, I for one am glad we haven't seen any obscene hand gestures in this match. Fingers crossed. Yo-Yo scooping him up into the powerbomb position, and where is he taking him? Yo-Yo Brown rolls the dice, and the proletariat hero gets snake eyes. But one has to wonder, if Kalishnikov doesn't start fighting back, how bad is this match going to make him look? Is this going to be another Gunther taps out to Jey Uso situation? Because I certainly hope not. The proletariat hero is already looking winded. And now he's starting to fire back. He looks like he's going for it again, and good gravy, what an acrobatic armbar. Can he make him cry Sassafras this time around? He may still have a long road to hoe, but I never get tired of watching his technical mastery. Yo-Yo Brown is keeping it simple and using that very basic moveset to good effect. At his age, I wouldn't recommend anything trickier than that. If he does end up breaking a hip, our staff veterinarian Francesca can probably deal with that. But because we don't want to be known as that promotion where old people come to break their brittle bones, we'd rather avoid it if we absolutely can. Kalishnikov cranking the ankle and setting up for a vicious elbow drop to the hamstrings. I think we're going to see something cool, folks, and this is worth the wait. 1 and 2. That was the Kalishnikov special. Let's check it out. This combination of a backbreaker and a Russian leg sweep is a favorite of both Yuri and his sister Nikita. But is it going to be enough for Yuri to take the lead? I can't remember when we heard the crowd this bloodthirsty. Probably not since we raised the prices on the bobbleheads at the merch stand. And while I'm on the subject, you can get your favorite wrestler's bobblehead from the merch stand, and we are having a special, 2 for the price of 3. Our bobbleheads are just the thing to pimp out the dashboard of your beat-up Toyota Yaris. Kalishnikov clocks him with the shoulder tackle, and he is checking his watch to see how much longer this travesty of a match will go on. Don't know if we're going to see another Kalishnikov special, but here's a backbreaker. Thank you for playing. And while I was in two minds about our wrestlers taking ballet classes, it's certainly paying off here. And I should also mention that Jean-Claude Van Damme once said ballet was harder than any karate he'd ever done. Oh my god, are we going to see an avalanche? All of a sudden, this match is getting real good, and Yo-Yo is whipping the tire out of the proletariat hero. Good gravy, that was brilliant. Run it back, Ernie. I am a sucker for an avalanche. But this one looks like it did more damage to the Detroit original than it did to the proletariat hero. He's definitely tweaked his back there, and he should check in with the staff veterinarian after this match. Referee Zekajahira Jones goes translucent, giving us a better view of the match. And as much as I hate to say it, Yo-Yo Brown can still pop and lock with the best of them. Ooh! Straight into the ropes for Yuri Kalishnikov. This one's spilling out of the ring, and as a reminder, there are no countouts or DQs in a Sassafras match. Whatever you gotta do to make the other fella cry Sassafras, that's all fine and good, but guys, please stay away from the announcer's desk. I'm still hiding underneath it. Yo-Yo Brown's got him in the waistlock, and suplex straight onto the cardboard. Kalishnikov catapults him off, and as a reminder, guys, please stay away from the announcer's desk. Come on, Yuri, what did I just say? Come on, wouldn't you rather take this back? Ow! Ow, I felt that. Seriously, guys, not cool. You almost made me spill my off-brand cola, and nobody wins when that happens. Kalishnikov is determined to take this one back ringside, and I really hope Yo-Yo Brown accepts the invitation. The staff veterinarian says I've got to stop taking so many desk bumps just for the sake of me old noggin. Yo-Yo Brown taking his sweet time as a man his age is wont to do, and what has he got? He is coming in hot with the pool cue, but Kalishnikov is having none of that. Look at that swinging neck breaker. The best laid plans of Yo-Yo Brown have fallen apart like a Temu motorcycle. Moscow torpedo, let's see that again. Kalishnikov calls in an airstrike and nukes Yo-Yo Brown with the Moscow torpedo. But will this be the final nail in the coffin? There's not much tread left on Yo-Yo Brown's tires. A few shots to the face to show the old man he ain't playing around. But can he stick the armbar this time? Folks, I think we're about to hear that magic word.
Yeah, quit!
That doesn't sound like Sassafras, but it'll do. That didn't even sound like Yo-Yo Brown. I'm sensing a conspiracy here, but let's go see some highlights. I may very well be Yo-Yo Brown's biggest critic, but even I've got to admit he acquitted himself pretty well. It wasn't a great match, but I'd give it 3 stars out of 5. It's good enough to put some bums on seats. I'm really hoping this match will placate Yo-Yo Brown for another week, but we shall see. I'm just glad we're done with him for this week. It might not be the most prestigious victory he's ever won, but nevertheless, congratulations to the proletariat hero Yuri Kalishnikov. Apparently, this is what our general manager Todd Sorenson thinks good booking looks like. And while he is indeed horribly, horribly wrong, I guarantee this show is better than anything you will see at WrestleMania this year. And that, my friends, is an LWL pinky promise. Oh God, what could you possibly want, Kimberly? Folks, if you thought Kimberly Sullivan was absolutely insufferable before, she has become so much of a diva since she won that women's championship. You don't even want to know about the list of demands she gave Todd. But seriously folks, if you know where any Kimberly fans are, make sure they get the help they need. Yeah, we're just counting our blessings. This is unacceptable. Only I get to insult the ugliness of the crowd. Just stay in your lane and keep working your magic with this crowd. Alrighty, let's see if anybody takes the bait. Here comes Left Eye and you are officially in trouble. And what a great cage match that was. It was a strange set of events that led to Kimberly winning the Women's Championship, which is why you all should go watch the whole back catalogue 3 or 4 times to catch up. I can't believe you went there, Kimberly. He only burned to death in a house fire 2 months ago, but I see what you did there and I gotta give it a little thumbs up. And folks, we have a match. Tune in next week to find out if Kimberly's ass is indeed grass. I'm almost hoping she wins tonight because I can't wait to see Left Eye beat the crap out of her with that belt. Folks, this match has been a long time brewing. It's not the first time these siblings have thrown down, but during their time in cryogenic storage, they had nothing to do but fixate on this upcoming match. Make no mistake, this is gonna be a bloodbath, and at the risk of calling it too early, it's also gonna be a squash match. Unless Brandy cheats like hell, Lady Liberty is straight up gonna wreck her little sister. This is good wholesome family entertainment, so let's go ringside. The following match is scheduled for 1 fall. Introducing first, from Libertyville, Alabama in the United States, she is a one-woman rampage. She is Lady Liberty, Maggie Dixon. Behold the apex predator of the women's division and the future of this promotion. I have been following Lady Liberty's career since her indie days in the southern states. I have never tried to hide the fact that she is my favorite, and as far as I'm concerned, she can do no wrong. If she gets arrested for burning down an orphanage, I will be the first one to say, hey, maybe it was self-defense. And if I am on the jury, I will vote not guilty, no matter how obviously guilty she may be. And who among us hasn't burned down an orphanage in self-defense? Let he without sin, yada yada yada. Oh, you have got to be kidding. Brandy pulled this exact crap last year, just as she was about to face La Femme Brutale. And just like last time, she substituted her friend Hannibella. I don't know why our general manager Todd Sorenson keeps falling for this, but things just got grim for Lady Liberty. Referee Tom Herb apparently sees nothing wrong with any of this, so we're still gonna have a match. There is only one word for this type of behavior: cowardly. And I am in no way attracted to you, Brandy Dixon, so stop trying. Referee Tom Herb rings the bell, and already we've got a slobber knocker on our hands. Hannibella may very well become the proxy for all of Lady Liberty's aggression against her little sister, who I am in no way attracted to. And just like any good slobber knocker, we have got a genuine yay boo on our hands. I know who I'm yaying and who I'm booing. This Linwood crowd is right behind Lady Liberty, and so is this short, hairy commentator. But we've still got a ways to go, and how much more punishment can either of these two take? Lady Liberty is firing with both barrels, but Hannibella is just shrugging it off. This is already the best match of the evening, and we've still got a ways to go. Hannibella is making it impossible for her opponent to get any kind of foothold, or pretty much any kind of hold, really. Lady Liberty keeps hammering away at her armor, and those walls have got to come down eventually. Hannibella driving her opponent into the corner, and Lady Liberty is eating a plate full of knuckle sandwiches, but she is fighting back. Into the corner she goes again, but she refuses to be trapped by this absolute monster and turns the tables. Beautiful shoulder barge into the ring post, and she is back in the game. The monster can be defeated, and it must be defeated. Clubbing blow to the back knocks her onto the canvas. Nobody puts Hannibella in the corner, and she is giving as good as she is getting. Boom goes the sidewalk slam, and Lady Liberty is taking charge. The best laid plans of Brandy Dixon, who I'm not attracted to anymore, have fallen to pieces. Lady Liberty is working her over like a heavy bag, and Hannibella must be regretting the decision to step in for her friend. She should really be asking herself, oh, good gravy. That was a vicious headbutt. Let's take another look. Just a reminder that Maggie Dixon fell off the jungle gym at age 7. She had a steel plate put in her forehead, so don't try this at home unless you also have one. 1. Ooh, nearly a 2 count. There is no denying the sheer grit of Lady Liberty. She is absolutely weathering the storm. Oh, misses with the sliding dropkick. Despite the fact that she is the largest woman on our women's roster at 6'4", Hannibella can move pretty fast when she wants to. And pay attention to the puppet on her right hand, Mr. Tickles. Trust me, it'll come up later. Hannibella is clobbering back, and I think she might have broken Lady Liberty's nose. And who can possibly fathom what goes on in that deranged mind? Hannibella cranking the neck and squeezing for... Oh my god, will you look at that? What a display of strength! Mr. Tickles the puppet is telling her what to do and what to think, and so far it seems to be working. And if we're being honest, couldn't we all benefit from a Mr. Tickles in our lives? Up and over like a 4-leaf clover. Hannibella is truly possessed, most likely by Mr. Tickles the puppet. All of a sudden, things are looking pretty grim for Lady Liberty. Oh god, this is what I was afraid of. It is officially tickle time. Mr. Tickles is going to work. Let's get another look, Ernie. The bloodlust of Mr. Tickles has not been satisfied, so he is taking it upon himself to put the hurting on Lady Liberty, and this is brutal. Oh god, I can't watch this anymore. One really has to wonder, can the bloodlust of a creature named Mr. Tickles ever be satisfied? Hannibal is doing her best to appease him. And what have we got here? Beautiful fall-away slam. It breaks my heart to see this, but Lady Liberty is in rough shape. Hannibal is not done laying on the hurt, and she is choking Lady Liberty against the ropes. Can Lady Liberty even recover from this? Apparently yes. One. Almost a two with a reversal. One. And we're kicking out. But all hope is not lost for Lady Liberty. Maggie Dixon is officially done with having her head squeezed like a ripe melon. Into the ropes goes Hannibal. Maggie goes low and straight into a big boot. Down goes the falling elbow and Lady Liberty is back in the game. She is officially done with the old bait and switch and it's time to send a message. Swing and a miss with the rampaging headbutt. My God, she stopped that one, but Hannibal shrugged it off. I have never seen anything like this before. Usually the rampaging headbutt means lights out. Any wrestler that can take a rampaging headbutt and keep standing is a scary threat indeed. But fear not, because it's only one of the many tools in Lady Liberty's toolbox. Driving Hannibal straight into the corner, and it's time to oh my God, are we going to see an avalanche? I knew this was going to be a great match. Thank you, Lady Liberty. Oh, look at that. Might not have been a top rope avalanche like I like, but that was one painful rope-assisted DDT. This slovenly, inebriated crowd of Linwood locals is losing its mind. They can't look away for a second, and neither can I. Boom! Another beautiful fall-away slam from Hannibal. Can she get the pin? What? Oh my God, that was a miracle. If at first you don't succeed, 1, 2, oh, nearly a 2 count there. The sheer grit and tenacity of Lady Liberty are on full display for all to see. Hannibal goes for the scoop, but Lady Liberty is not having any of it and answers back with a stiff clothesline. And now she's going topside. She's stalking her prey, and boom, look at that vicious body splash. If Hannibal has any other friends, maybe now would be a good time to substitute. Lady Liberty just daring the monster to get back to her feet. Lady Liberty goes for the drop kick and misses the mark. Neither one of these two is ready to cry Sassafras just yet, but they can all change in an instant. Boom! Michinoku driver from Hannibal. Can she get the pin? 1, 2. Oh, nearly a 2. We have seen so much great wrestling in such a short amount of time, and this absolutely makes up for the garbage I had to sit through in the first half. Hannibal has an even more deranged look in her eye than usual, and I got a bad feeling. We've seen this one before, and this is a little tribute to her biggest hero, The Undertaker, with this tombstone pile driver. Is this curtains for Lady Liberty? Oh, thankfully not, but let's see that again. With the sheer amount of raw power required to pull off this move, it's an absolute miracle that Lady Liberty was able to kick out. It's called a tombstone for a reason, but Lady Liberty is not ready to push up daisies just yet. What more can it possibly take to break the back of the American horse? More importantly, does Hannibal have it in her to pull that off? We're seeing another bit of a tussle and bustle and another miss with the rampaging headbutt. She is not having any luck with that one tonight. Clearly, Hannibal has done her homework by watching back episodes of LWL, as you all should do, at least 3 or 4 times. Daddy needs the clicks. This Linwood crowd is blowing the roof off of this abandoned warehouse, and it's matches like this that remind me why I became a color commentator. Lady Liberty is looking to take this one across the finish line, and I think we're about to see it. She is dragging Hannibal to the ropes, and we are going to see it, folks. Up she goes. Boom! Liberty Bell DDT. We gotta see that one again. After having no joy with the rampaging headbutt, the Liberty Bell DDT saves the day. This is exactly what I came here to see tonight. But is it gonna be enough for the pin? 1, 2, 3. Lady Liberty takes the win. Let's go see some highlights. We started this match with a bit of a bad taste in our mouth, thanks to the cowardly bait and switch from Maggie's little sister Brandy. It was looking pretty grim there for a while, and although Hannibella got in some good shots, there is no substitute for the good old-fashioned rough and tumble grit that Maggie Dixon swaggers with. We didn't get the bloodbath we were initially promised, but we got something just as good. Brandy Dixon is going to be on the defensive after this one. Congratulations to Lady Liberty on another well-deserved win. It is an absolute travesty that Maggie Dixon has never got a title shot. If she keeps putting on wrestling clinics like this and winning over the hearts of the fans, it would be very silly to deny her that title shot, and I am rooting for her all the way. Here we are, folks. It's time for the main event. This will be Kimberly Sullivan's first defense of her Women's World Championship title. The prototype Nikita Kalishnikov is one of the best wrestlers in our women's division and a very serious threat to the Mean Girl's reign. While I'm seriously hoping the prototype straight up mangles Kimberly, I've learned from past experience never to count the Mean Girl out. So will we see the title change hands on our first show out of cryogenic storage? Let's go ringside and find out. The following LWL Women's World Championship match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Poprovskaya, Siberia in Russia, she is the prototype, Nikita Kalishnikov. Folks, I have mixed feelings about this match. On the one hand, yes, I absolutely want the prototype to win tonight, and I think she can. But on the other hand, if Nikita takes the belt, then how is our good friend Left Eye supposed to beat the stuffing out of Kimberly with it? These are important questions, people. If the prototype should take the win tonight, I'm hoping she'll do the decent thing and lend the belt to Left Eye for 5 to 10 minutes. That's more than enough time to give Kimberly a good walloping, and that way everybody gets what they want and everybody's happy. Except for maybe Kimberly, but if you come out here and tell this Linwood crowd they belong in the rubbish, you don't deserve to be happy. And her opponent, and current LWL Women's World Champion, from Brisbane, Queensland in Australia, she is the Mean Girl, Kimberly Sullivan. I know I've said this before, but Kimberly has turned into an absolute diva since winning that belt. Let me read you some of the demands she laid on our general manager, Todd Sorenson. Number 1, her own private dressing room. Number 2, she does not want to make eye contact with poor people. Number 3, one large bowl of Sour Patch Kids in her dressing room. Green and yellow ones only. All other colors must be thrown in the rubbish and not given to other wrestlers. I personally cannot wait for Kimberly's reign of terror to end, and I only hope tonight is the night. With the possible exception of Lady Liberty, the prototype is the biggest threat to Kimberly's championship. This Linwood crowd is right behind her, and you know what? So am I. And to that dude in the audience with the WWE sucks sign, preach on, brother. If you can remember way back last year, we didn't always have these nice looking belts. Initially, our general manager Todd Sorenson let his talentless 3-year-old son Andrew design them, and they looked hideous. And I personally got fined many times for ragging on them. It was then I realized that my dog Jasko could design much better belts, so I put him to work. And look what a wonderful job he did. I couldn't be any prouder as a fur parent. That there is a belt truly worth fighting over. The tension in the air is absolutely palpable. Referee Jessica Shushrinskavich-Tilokov rings the bell, and we have a stare down for the ages. Straight off the bat, we've got a slobber knocker, and no quarter will be asked and no quarter will be given. Back and forth they go in a catfight for the ages. Kalishnikov lands a decisive blow. Ow, that just hurts to look at. I could hear her neck bones cracking from here. The prototype is asserting herself and taking the lead in this match. Russian leg sweep. The Mean Girl grossly underestimated her opponent. It's going to be an uphill battle for her to regain her footing. Into the corner goes Kalishnikov. Absolutely nothing fancy here. Just the Mean Girl laying in with some stiff shots. This crowd did not like the Mean Girl coming into this, and this has not changed their opinion. Or my opinion for that matter. Go prototype. Nikita is trapped in the corner and she cannot oh, look at that. That was quite the reversal, and the prototype sends her crashing with a double knee strike. And a kiss goodnight just to seal the deal. I'd also like to mention that our concession stand is now 87% rodent free. So if you want to get some grub, head on to the concession stand. The Mean Girl is getting choked on the ropes, and this is an absolute delight for all us Kimberly haters. And look at that, we got another slobber knock here. Referee Jessica Shushrinskavich-Tilokov wants no part of this. She is standing safely back to avoid collateral damage. This crowd is baying for blood, and who's going to come out on top this time? Mean Girl with a stiff shot sends the prototype down. Oh, come on, that was a little unnecessary. Kimberly Sullivan coming in hot with a float-over neck breaker. The tables have turned and the Mean Girl... Hey, it's that guy with the Fire John Adams sign. Not cool, buddy. I thought we banned that guy, but apparently not. Kimberly's lining up for something big and misses the mark. Prototype hits back with a basement dropkick. We got the full Nelson, we got the twist, and a beautiful reverse DDT. It's always a thrill to see the prototype's technical mastery. Kalishnikov taking the boots to Kimberly, and she is not a happy camper. Could we be looking at the end of the Mean Girl's reign of terror? One certainly hopes so. And out of the ring goes Kimberly. And hey, remember all those red, orange, and purple Sour Patch Kids Kimberly demands be thrown out? Much like Sir Mix-a-Lot with butts, when they toss him and leave him, I pull up quick to retrieve him. Oh, look at that, that's brutal. Kimberly might say not to give those Sour Patch Kids to other wrestlers, but I'm a color commentator, so I win on a technicality. These two are going at it hammer and tongs, and mark my words, folks. Oh my god, straight into the steel steps. Whichever way this one goes tonight, nobody is limping out of here without an injury. Our staff veterinarian Francesca is going to be very busy later. She might even need some more bubblegum to patch the wounds. Ow! Head first into the apron. As always, I am safe and snug, hiding under the announcer's desk, and this one's got to go back ringside. The prototype slips back in the ring and the battle continues. This clash of the titans continues, and this is what we all came to see. Good gravy, look at that. Beautiful tilt-a-whirl head scissors. This is going to be enough for the pin. Ooh, not even a one count. Better luck next time, Kimberly. Oh, good gravy, look at that. Moonsault off the springboard, but the prototype managed to get the knees up. Kalishnikov shrugs off that dropkick like it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. We are going into the corner the hard way. Reversals upon reversals, and the Mean Girl thwarts her opponent at every opportunity. Oh, sit out jawbreaker. The Mean Girl is not yet done putting the hurting on her opponent. We're back on our feet. Prototype goes into the ropes, and Kimberly whiffs the body scissors. The prototype takes advantage and sends her right over the ropes. Stiff shot to the face. Ooh, how about that hot shot stunner? Kimberly Sullivan is laid out on the cardboard, and hopefully she never gets up. Whoa, too far, John. That's a bit mean, even for you. We're already seeing a lot of bruises and welts on both wrestlers. I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a cracked rib or two under there. The Mean Girl's got to make her way back to the ring, otherwise this one's going to be a count-out, and nobody wins when that happens. The last time we had a match end in a count-out, the crowd rioted and did $80,000 worth of damage. We do not need a repeat of that. Kimberly hits the snap mirror and follows through with a kick to the back. And what's coming now? Yeah, quit milking it, Kimberly, and get your stuff in. Good gravy, standing moonsault. Play it back, Ernie. There was a time when Kimberly Sullivan was Australia's best hope for a gold medal in gymnastics. The mighty may have fallen, but Kimberly remains a phenomenal gymnast. Can she get the pin? 1. Kick out after the 1. If at first you don't succeed, then use the ropes for leverage. Kimberly gets a telling off from referee Jessica Shushrimskovich-Tilopolov. Oh, look at that! The botched facelift, another one of Kimberly's signatures. 1, 2, and so close. Let's see that again. Kimberly is trying everything she can to stick that pin, but the prototype is not going down for the count. One thing's for sure, the prototype will not be taking any selfies tonight. If the Mean Girl thought this was going to be an easy night, she just got a rude awakening. This Linwood crowd is on its feet, but that's mostly because these chairs are painfully uncomfortable. The Mean Girl's trapped in the corner, and I think we're going to see something cool. Oh yeah, look at that. Backflip Pele kick from the prototype. We got to see that again. The backflip Pele kick is always a crowd pleaser. Kalishnikov has a limitless bag of tricks, and we may still see a new women's champion. Posting up on the middle rope, and what comes next? The prototype says, bring it on. Kimberly Sullivan is visibly disoriented, but the prototype woefully misjudges that flying attack. If the gloves came off in the first minute, then these two are down to the bone. This truly is a do-or-die affair. Kimberly going off the springboard, and oh, that was just embarrassing. I hope that hurt, Kimberly. The Mean Girl is not about to lay down that title belt. Sticks the Hurricane Rana. The prototype is visibly in a lot of pain, but she manages to catapult the Mean Girl off. I got a feeling we're about to see something cool, and here it comes. 1 Barbachka. 2 Barbachkas. 3 Barbachkas. We gotta see that again. That was the prototype's signature Barbachka roll, and it's always a crowd pleaser. We at Linwood Wrestling Legends promise you more Barbachkas per show, and that, my friends, is an LWL pinky promise. Things are looking up for the prototype, and they'd be looking a lot better if she'd stop doing that to her neck. Seriously, that's just gross. Does Kimberly Sullivan even know which way is up at this point? I haven't seen her like this since the office Christmas party where she got drunk and made fun of Todd Sorenson's moustache. Poison Rana sends the prototype to the canvas. Kimberly is going topside and hitting that double spring moonsault. Can she take the pin? 1. Oh, kick out just before the 2. Much like the T-1000, the prototype is just going to keep coming at you. The prototype has her eyes on the prize, and she is not laying down for anyone. Kimberly gets driven into the corner where she belongs. Stiff headbutt sends her crashing to the mat. Look at that foot scrub. There is no love lost here, and I don't think I've ever seen the prototype this revved up. I've got a sneaking suspicion that we may be looking at our next women's champ. Kimberly gets hiffed about like a rag doll and thrown over the ropes. Prototype going topside, and this is gonna be big. Ooh, down goes the elbow. Nobody wants a championship match to end in a countout, so this one better go back to the ring pretty soon. Kimberly gets lost on the way and takes an axe handle to the back for her troubles. One way or another, both of these wrestlers have to go back in the ring. Kimberly gets whiffed into the steel stairs, and what a thud. The prototype continues to drag Kimberly by the scruff of the neck, and the Mean Girl is offering no resistance. This one is finally going back ringside where it belongs, and look at that frog splash straight off the slingshot. But seriously, ladies, wrap it up. If I'm not home in an hour, my mum's gonna change the locks. The Mean Girl is getting whipped from pillar to post, and I approve. Look at that! Cartwheel with a back elbow lays out the prototype. This match has taken its toll on the prototype, and she crawls to the corner for safety. But there is no safety to be found from the onslaught of the Mean Girl. Oh god, that looked painful. Kimberly Sullivan is not afraid to get down and dirty with the cheap shots. She hits the alley-oop and up goes the prototype. Can she get the pin? One! Ooh! Kimberly has never faced an opponent this stubborn before. Whatever she's got left in the tank, she'd better use it. Hurricane Rana! The prototype is looking like she's in agony, and we've seen this one before. Standing moonsault! Can she get the pin? 1, 2, 3. Kimberly Sullivan takes the win. Let's go see some highlights. I've got to hand it to the prototype. She went in there and fought a valiant fight, and she resisted Kimberly's pin attempts at every turn. But unfortunately for her and everybody else, that wasn't enough to take the title tonight. Kimberly's reign of terror continues for at least another week. More ridiculous demands will be issued, more Sour Patch Kids will be discarded unnecessarily, and right now her best hope rests with Left Eye. If she can burn down her boyfriend's house with him super glued to the bed, I'm sure taking the title will be a piece of cake. So congratulations to the Mean Girl Kimberly Sullivan for her first title defense. One only hopes it'll be her last. And for now, we've just got to pin all our hopes on Left Eye. The sooner Kimberly's egomaniacal reign of terror is over, the better, as far as this commentator is concerned. Maybe someday we'll be able to pin that belt on somebody who actually deserves it. But alas, today is not that day. In the meantime, I'm sure the Mean Girl is going to be celebrating this win in style. And I'm sure all the tabloid websites are going to have a field day with the photos and arrest reports from her celebrations. And that, folks, is all we have for this week. I just want to take the time to thank each and every one of you wonderful people for tuning in this week. And I hope you'll like and subscribe to Linwood Wrestling Legends. We hope to see you next week to see the Mean Girl defend her title against Left Eye. And most importantly, we will reveal the identity of the fourth member of the Great Heathen Army. Until then, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. This is your faithful host and color commentator, John Adams, signing off and signing out.